Hello everybody, sorry for the silence this week. I've been on holiday, but you'll be happy to know I'm back and I shall be doing videos again. So let's kick this off with black dwarfs. Black dwarfs are essentially the inevitable fate for low mass main sequence stars, such as our Sun. Once a new star is born, it begins converting hydrogen into helium, a process called nuclear fusion. Each star has a finite amount of hydrogen, fuel, to take it to old age. And after about 9 to 10 billion years, a Sun-like star will eventually run out of hydrogen. And when this happens, it can swell from 100 to 200 times its original size, whilst at the same time cooling down to become a red giant. From this stage, it will begin to burn helium, and this process will last about 1 billion years, give or take. And when this happens, the core will shrink to about the size of the Earth, and when the star runs out of helium. And eventually, the red giant's outer layers will be shredded off, and will become something called a planetary nebula, before eventually dissipating into space. And all that will be left is the Earth-sized core, which at this point is a tiny helium shell, which will continue to burn over billions and billions of years. This is what's called a white dwarf. Thing being around the size of Earth, it will still be just as heavy as the original star, but it will be very small and very dim, which means any planets left over, they will get next to no light whatsoever. It will be night all the time, and it will be black and freezing. And over a period of billions and maybe even trillions of years, eventually the white dwarf star will cool down to a point where it no longer emits light, and this is what's called a black dwarf. It's essentially the leftover core of a sun-like star that has completely stopped shining and stopped burning. And the reason why we haven't found any black dwarfs is because the time it takes for a white dwarf to cool down and become one is longer than the age of the universe currently. So no black dwarfs currently exist. And it is a very sad thought when you think about it. Whatever planets, asteroids, comets, whatever, are left over from the red giant phase of the sun, they will continue orbiting the core of the star, but they will be much colder than they are today. And they will be lucky if they receive as much light as Jupiter is currently reflecting from the sun in the night sky.